Welcome everyone to another video, and today we're going to take a look at the Scroll Cup. So we are already in the second week of Go Battle League, and it's shifted to Ultra League and Scroll Cup, which we are going to look at right now. Ultra League is not something which I'm really particularly fond of, so yeah, we have Morpeko in the lead with Araquanid and Mandibuzz. So we are going to highlight how insane Morpeko is in general, and yeah, even especially as a closer, right? But you might be thinking, why are you talking about Morpeko's closing power when you're using it as a lead? Well, for me, I'm using Morpeko in the lead mostly to bait out its counters, because Morpeko, especially with its dark electric typing, does not have that many weaknesses in the Scroll Cup. The only other weaknesses to it are either fighting types or water ground types, which is not very prevalent. So only things such as Gastrodon or Annihilate are things which would be common in this format. Because of those two typings in general, that's why we have Mandibuzz and Araquanid in the back to soften it up for Morpeko to ramp up its damage output with Aura Wheel to seal the deal. So going into the first game, we have here Morpeko against a Lantern. We have an incredible lead for the first game, and we bait out their Gastrodon, which is massive, and we are going to go into our Araquanid. So Araquanid will be able to debuff them with the Bubble Beam, and we are going to be able to farm up with a little bit more ease after this debuff, and we will try to farm them all the way down if possible. So as you can see here, Body Slam will not do much. Even 4 Body Slams will not be enough to take us out from this range, which is good for us because now we can just over farm like crazy. But they instead swap into the Sable Eye, which we are fine with, because now we're able to debuff them and immediately swap into our Mandibuzz. Of course, because Mandibuzz is a dark type Pokemon, we have to be wary of the Dazzling Gleam. But for now, it is still okay because we already have debuffed them with the Bubble Beam from Araquanid, and here they do decide to shield and swap out into the Lantern. So this opponent does know how to swap out of a bad matchup, and here we are going to swap back into our Morpeko. So at this point, we are going to farm up just a little bit more. We know that we are going to outpace them to 2 Aura Wheels before they are able to get to a second Surf, which means that we are going to be able to bank a second charge move for their Pokemon, in which case is Gastrodon. And here they are going to shield it for some reason, and we are going to be able to get to another Psychic Fangs to take them out. And now the race is on for Morpeko to see whether or not it can take it out on its own. Unfortunately, yeah, we are just going to let it go. We are going to flex a bit with the Araquanid. Araquanid is going to go with a Bubble Beam and Bug Bite all the way down and win us the game. So as you can see here, this team is the correct balance of tankiness as well as damage output. Of course, Morpeko is a little bit on the frail side, but Araquanid with those Bubble Beam debuffs and that Mandibuzz natural bulk does create a good balance to the team, so that we don't have to invest shields on our back line. So one of the Pokemons that could be of nuisance to this team would be Brione. I think that's how you say it, because it is a pure water type, which in theory should be good for Morpeko. Unfortunately, it does have access to Charm, which does super effective damage to Morpeko. So Morpeko not being able to withstand that much damage before it hurts a lot, right? Before it gets to Aura Wheel, means that we do want to swap out. But because Mandibuzz is also a dark type, it could cause some issues for us down the line. So we do know that Morpeko with shields and energy will do massive amount of damage. And here, as you can see, we are going to get to a charge move immediately, and unfortunately Psychic Fangs is not enough to take them out. Yeah, we have to use our last shield. Unfortunately, if we had gone for the Aura Wheel, we have definitely won it, but it's okay. We still have the Araquanid in the back to take it out. And now in the third game, we have a Mandibuzz in the lead, and this is the type of lead that we want, right? We want to ramp up our damage with Aura Wheel, but they decided to swap out to a Gastrodon, which is commonplace in the Scroll Cup, right? Because Morpeko is just such a big threat to the team, and Gastrodon does really good versus the whole meta. If it is not a flying type or even a part grass type like Ludicolo. So as you can see here, standard procedure is you debuff with Bubble Beam once, and then you can farm them all the way down, and you will come out with a charge move here, and Bug Buzz will do quite an insane amount of damage to the Mandibuzz, but we are going to throw the Bubble Beam first so that we are able to get to this Bug Buzz and see that it does quite a bit of damage, about 30% of its health. And here they will have Morpeko in the back. So yeah, our instantaneous swap is backfiring just a bit for us, but I think it's still doable because we have Morpeko with energy in the back. So here we are just trying to get their shields out of the way, and we do get the first one. And here we are going to let this one go again, and they again went for the Psychic Fangs, which is amazing because this is not good for us, which means that it's not good for them, which is good for us. And here we are going to throw immediately the Aura Wheel to ramp up our attack, and I think Psychic Fangs from this range would be enough to take them out. And here we have two shields versus Morpeko, and we are going to use both shields here. Of course, with Psychic Fangs, debuffing our defense is not really a good thing, but since they are quite low already, we are going to just use both shields, try to farm them all the way down. And here they do have Mandibuzz to catch the Aura Wheel, but unfortunately they don't have anything to respond to our own swap into Mandibuzz in the end game. So here we are met with a Gastrodon in the lead again, something that is, I would say, common in the past 1 or 2 days, but what is not common is people using Araquanid as well, because this means that they are particularly weak to a Mandibuzz. And here we are going to elect to let this one go because it's just another Bubble Beam. We are able to take it. If it was a Bug Buzz, then we would have double guessed to shield, but in this instance we are able to let it go and come out with loads of energy. And for this last Pokemon, which is the Morpeko here, and we are going to let our Mandibuzz get farmed down, which is not ideal, but it is something that has to be done so that we are able to preserve our Morpeko. And here they decided to go for a Psychic Fangs. In my view, when you're already that ahead in energy, you should not be going for Psychic Fangs. You should just ramp up your attack with Aura Wheel, because considering that we come in with Morpeko against their own Morpeko, this is a big indicator that we do not have a hard counter to it. So it was a safe bet for them to just go for the harder hitting move, whether it is Aura Wheel or Seed Bomb. And here we are met with the Gastrodon again, and we are coming in with the Araquanid, another hard counter to a Gastrodon, which is impressive, right? And here we are going to be able to farm them all the way down, have almost 2 charge move banked for the Morpeko. And here we are going to debuff them first before hopefully this was the game where I misplayed. I thought that I had the Bug Bite registered and KO'd the Gastrodon, but they survived with 1 HP, and Bubble Beam somehow registered on the Gastrodon, which means I only had 1 Bubble Beam for the Morpeko. But yeah, it's okay because now we are going to try to take them out with Araquanid. Araquanid, I think at this range would be able to take them out, especially with another Psychic Fangs debuff. And yeah, Bug Bite is just going to rip apart the Morpeko from this range, and we are going to take another win here. A solid start to this video. So yeah, we're going to be met with another Mandibuzz in the lead. So most of the time I'm either met with Mandibuzz or Gastrodon in the lead, so which is very good for us because in both instances we do have answers. With a Mandibuzz lead, we are able to ramp up our attack, and in this case almost one-shotting the Mandibuzz and most probably being able to you know, bank a charge move for the next Pokemon. And here they come in with their Morpeko, and we are going to throw the Psychic Fangs first, try to make them a bit more squishy, and then before throwing the Aura Wheel. And here they decided to overfarm, which is very bad. Now they are 2 shields down if they want to preserve the Morpeko, in which case they don't. And yeah, they are going to top left and concede the game. So yeah. And in the next game we are met with Walrein. Walrein is a particularly tricky Pokemon because of the Powder Snow and Icicle Spear damage buffs. Because one Icicle Spear would be able to take it out, especially in the 2 shield scenario. We are going to preserve our Morpeko, especially with the attack buffs. We are going to try to win this matchup, considering that we have the attack stat advantage, so we are going to win charge attack priority no matter what. And here Morpeko is going to be met with a Spiritomb, which is very unique because Spiritomb is one of those dark types that just gets slaughtered by other dark types because of its ghost subtyping and the lack of utility moves besides Rock Tomb. But here we don't care about it because we have Aura Wheel with us on Morpeko, and here Morpeko almost 2v1, I mean almost 3v1 the whole team, but unfortunately it just doesn't have the bulk or HP to deal with Toxapex. I think if we had just a little bit more HP, that next Aura Wheel would have been devastating for the Toxapex. But we are not out of the woods yet. Toxapex is quite bulky, and we are going to need all the help we can get from this Mandibuzz to dish out the damage, because Araquanid will be doing resisted damage at best against this Toxapex. But for sure at this range, Araquanid would be enough, whether it is with Bubble Beam and Bug Bites afterwards, or even with Bug Buzz straight away. And yeah, as you can see here, even with no hard counters to Toxapex, we are still able to take them out even without shields, because our team is just able to outbulk them in the back. So another problematic Pokemon in the form of Quagsire. I think Quagsire would be the weirdest mon to face because it does have access to Stone Edge, which is very bad for Araquanid and Mandibuzz because they are both weak to Stone Edge. But because it's also a ground type Pokemon, Morpeko doesn't want to meet it in the lead as well. But as you can see here, they are going to throw the charge move against us. We are going to shield it and come out with a charge move ready, hopefully against the Quagsire, because we want to come in with the Araquanid to take it out. And as you can see here, they are going to let us get a few more air slashes out of the way. And at this point, even without shields, I think Araquanid will be able to take them out. And with them having Sludge Bomb, it just means that they are going to be able to, yeah, we are going to be able to withstand the damage output even more. Here we are going to be met with a Chestnut, a very awkward matchup considering that we already lost our main counter for Chestnut in the form of Mandibuzz. Air Slash will have ripped through this Chestnut. Unfortunately, we just do not have the bulk needed to take it out. Araquanid is relatively low, and this opponent does know how to reset a debuff when needed. And as you can see here, we needed to throw the Bubble Beam against them to even have a chance, and we had to come out with a Bug Buzz, which is not enough because Quagsire was already low to begin with, and we are not able to farm them all the way down. So this charge move, most probably a Frenzy Plant, will take us out. So going into the penultimate match here, we are going to be met with another Morpeko. So insane lead, but we are going to be met with a Gastrodon switch again. And yeah, as you can see here, them being locked in this position means they are pretty helpless for the most part. Araquanid is just so tanky that we do not have to invest any shields in it. So we are able to keep those 2 shields for Morpeko if needed. And here we are going to farm them all the way down, come out with a Bug Buzz. If Morpeko comes out, Morpeko has to respect the Bug Buzz because they will be super effective versus the Morpeko. And here they come in with a Pelipper. We are going to come in with our Morpeko, ramp up our attack because that is what we need here right now. This could have gone really bad for us, especially now, but unfortunately for us, we have both shields still intact, so we are able to shield once, try to ramp up our attack, and hopefully go for a double up before throwing the Aura Wheel. And this Aura Wheel, even though it's resisted with a +1 damage boost, it will definitely delete the opposite Morpeko, and the next Aura Wheel will take it out with double super effective Aura Wheel +2 attack. It will just be insane amount of damage. So in the last battle, we are met with another Wall Rain. We are going to match shields. If they don't shield, then it's good for us. But because its attack got buffed, we are going to try to shield, because usually with Wall Rain in the lead, they might have something else in the back that is also good against us, because as you can see here, they have Wish Cash. A little bit weird for this team, but it's okay, we are going to accept it. And here they are going to come in for Azumarill. Another weird Pokemon in this format because of the presence of Morpeko and things like Toxapex, which hard counters it. But I think people feel comfortable with Azumarill considering that it does beat the Dark and Fighting type Pokemons, but it just does not have any charge move pressure at all. And here, as you can see, they switch in with the Whiscash again, and it just doesn't help them at all. Whiscash is completely walled by the Araquanid, and after the debuff, especially now, it has no chance. We are going to let this one go. We are just going to farm them all the way down if possible. The Blizzard barely does anything. At most, it's like about 20-25% of its health. And we are going to throw this Bubble Beam versus the Azumarill. Come back with our Morpeko and try to take them out with a Psychic Fangs. The opponent will not have anywhere to go from here on out. And we are going to try to farm them all the way down and come out with our Wheel, hopefully to take out the Whiscash for the win. So as you can see here, this team is very balanced, very good, and you are able to save shields for most of the games that you play, and overall is very consistent. So let me know what you think about this team. If you're using this team, how is it faring for you? So yeah, with that, that is the end of the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.